In this video, we will address the safety concerns present when processing bamboo, assembling and disassembling the rocket stove, and operating the rocket stove for canning. Never burn green whole bamboo. The bamboo must be dried before burning. Failure to dry the bamboo before heating can cause trapped water in the nodes to rapidly expand, generating an explosion. Wear proper safety gear, including gloves, protective eyewear, long sleeves, and shoes. This will prevent injuries from pinching, splinters, and cuts. Be aware when using the chisel and mallet to avoid accidentally striking your hand. Assume all metal edges are sharp. Wearing gloves, long sleeves, shoes, and protective eyewear are recommended to limit the possibility of injury. Rolling the exposed aluminum edge will make it less sharp and safer for the user. Assemble the stove on a level surface. Making sure the stove is stable will reduce the possibility of collapse and the spilling of scalding water. Stagger the seams of the bricks to ensure that the structure is stable. Be aware that stacking bricks presents the possibility of pinching your fingers or dropping the brick on your body. Mistakes drilling holes in the aluminum creates the possibility of puncturing your skin. If you need to disassemble your rocket stove to clean or move it to a different location, make sure the stove has cooled down completely. The stove may take several hours to do so. Also be aware that disassembling the rocket stove poses many of the same safety concerns as assembling, including cuts, scrapes, and possible impact from dropping the brick. Safety gear, including gloves, long sleeves, and protective eyewear, should be worn. Starting the rocket stove, make sure that the stove is stable and that all necessary tools and supplies are nearby. Make sure the interior of the stove is dry and clean. During the initial lighting of the rocket stove, safety goggles are recommended as it is normal for the fire to smoke. Keep your face from the smoke to avoid inhalation or potential burns. During the operation, some surfaces of the stove can reach well over 260 degrees Celsius. The bricks, metal elbow, pot skirt, water, and pot will all be extremely hot. To be safe, assume all elements are hot during operation and for several hours after burning has ceased. Sparks and smoke are commonly ejected from the stove, so it is advised to stand away from the chimney and keep the stove away from flammable materials or structures. To avoid pinching or burning hazards while feeding the fire, use larger sticks of bamboo to move the fuel once it has been placed on the inlet grating, to avoid touching the stove directly. Take care when removing the canning pot after all burning has ceased. The water in stove will be hot for some time after the fire is extinguished. While there are safety hazards present during the processing of bamboo, assembly and disassembly of the stove, and during the stove's operation, using the proper safety gear and being aware of possible hazards will prevent potential injuries.